this.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Ant-Man the shit out of some ghosts, motherfucker.
Fucking yeah. Shrink them. Send
Hey,
them into the quantum realm, bro. End them.
I'll watch your movie if you watch In Time.
Fine.
Sounds like a deal. But you touched
I'll do
on
it,
a little
definitely.
something on my next wild card that I didn't. I guess I could have guessed you were going to touch on it, but I guess automated cars. Do you want a Tesla?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I fucking want a Tesla. Just afraid
I
to
do
fall
want a
asleep while
Tesla.
driving.
I want a Tesla because I want to take a nap, like pictures I've seen of people doing it. But then there's also those other people who should probably tint their windows, because I think it was even on the news of people banging while it was driving down the road. And that's, I mean, there's trusting your car, and there's not giving a fuck where your car goes. And that is not where I'm at yet. That's too much trust in my car. You know,
Right.
Not only that, tint your goddamn windows if you're going to be crazy town. But I love the one where there's a picture of I just fucking taking a nap. Like, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. You're apparently not supposed to do that, for sure.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next, I guess, topic. This isn't necessarily a wild card. I just kind of want to talk about it. I'm not sure if you heard about it. SpaceX launched a new rocket with over like 24 satellites and experiments on it. I was researching one of the satellites that they're putting out there, and it's like a giant, like four-pronged thing that comes out, and it's almost like a tinfoil blanket that's supposed to
It's a solar sail.
yeah,
called.
solar sail. And my thing with that is, I guess, rocks, space rocks and stuff. Wouldn't it like fly through that, or is it so tough that it would just bounce off?
The velocity of a rock moving in space would go right through a satellite. That membrane is so thin in those, like, because that thing is being folded down so compact that it fits in a module like the size of, from what I remember, like the size of your desk. And then, you know, it opens up and it expands and it's huge. It collects sun rays from one side and propels to the other direction, you know, and that's a quick way to travel across without wasting fuel or anything like that.
I wonder if it's a healing type of texture, like it heals itself if it gets punctured.
It could be. I mean, they make fabric like that, but at the same time, I mean, you can. It's so big, it's not going to notice a tiny hole, and it's probably weaved in a manner that if a hole does pop in it, it's not going to tear. It's just going to rip a hole in it, you know. So it's still going to be effective for quite a long time. And I'm pretty sure. I mean, if they. I mean, I'm speculating here, but if it senses an asteroid, like a shit ton of them coming at it, it'll probably have a safety mechanism. Yeah, something.
Okay.
I would think. I mean,
Right.
You never know. I mean, it is a test, so they're not going to give it every little gimmick that they could possibly give it just to see what could happen, you know?
Right. Do you think that the Space Force is in preparation for, you know, us actually making contact? Or what do you think about the Space Force?
Really quick on the last thing, I was completely wrong on the size.
Oh.
It's an 11-pound cube satellite that's about the size of a loaf of bread.
What the fuck? Holy
Yeah.
shit, wow. Wowza,
But
buddy. Holy crap.
It expands to 344 square foot square sail, but it will reduce the fact of it needing fuel on it. That's why they can make it so much smaller, is what it's saying. So, like, a lot of satellites need fuel so they can adjust its orbit, but if it has the sail, I'm guessing it can stabilize itself if it starts to drift. What was your question again? Throw that back at me.
Oh man, I lost it. Viewers, what did we say?
Yeah, can we get someone to throw that back at us? We're working in another frequency already.
Damn. Lost that one.
Next.
Shit. Space Force.
Yes, Space Force. What about it?
Do you think it's in preparation for us, like, actually making contact, or what do you think is the plan with Space Force? Is it just a fucking joke?
Well, if you, it's been in existence. Fucking President Reagan started the Star Wars Defense Program back in the day. It's been in existence for a long fucking time. It's not new. They just
Someone
changed
put a
its
name to it.
No, they put another name to it because
Oh.
it used to be called the Star Wars Defense Program, which was all about the same scenario. Having something in space or a group of people in space to protect us from any imminent threat. Take that how you will.
Right. But the name Star Wars, not in any aspect to the movie, but just putting the word war in there is kind of,
Yes.
dangerous for public,
Well, a lot of what that was about was a missile defense in space or satellites to reflect lasers to take out other missile attacks from space. So it was kind of about us is how they sold it. But with everything we're hearing nowadays, Bob Lazar, all these other whatevers, sightings, and so on, it could be what the preemptive was all about. I mean, with Roswell and all that other stuff, going on a conspiracy, speculative
But they can almost
area
use
here.
our gravity as a weapon if they're from, somewhere else. Because we can't see gravity. We don't perceive it. So they could almost use that as a weapon. I'm not sure how, but, but that's...
Well, they could, in theory, if they had the technology or the way to alter or send through, let's say, into a lava chute through the mantle and attack our core to create it more dense, that could destroy us. If our gravity shifted by a 0.0001, that would be hazardous, immensely hazardous.
Right. Wow.
It would crush. Our bodies aren't made for gravity of that strength, let alone if they did more than that.
Wow.
We're not built for it.
Crazy.
Just to
Something to think about.
touch on that a little.
You ready for your last wild card?
Just a second. Okay.
All right. We got 7 minutes left. And I want you to tell me about your old plan that we used to talk about to live underground and some of the features of that building that we even drew out and planned.
Which one? Jesus.
I think the one with the
had
water above it. Like the river above it or the
one,
lake.
The one with the levels?
Yes. Yes.
There were a couple. I mean, if anyone's ever seen Resident Evil and saw like a blueprint of the Hive, that was kind of the selling point of one of our designs. But it was only like 5 levels down, only. Each level we gave between a 10-foot to a 20-foot ceiling just for solid entertainment. If we wanted a trampoline per se, or the bottom level would be like a pool, grotto. I mean, let me tell you this. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to have like a 3-level basement, and the bottom basement is going to span through 2 levels, and it's going to look cave-like, but with clean, nice water and all that fun stuff.
And white
be like
walls.
a grotto. Oh, yeah. It's going to be all up to date. Speakers, hot tub, a waterfall. It's going to be beautiful.
And the
but
energy
anyways,
bill is going to be insane.
Unless
you're going
geothermal,
solar.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Geothermal, solar, wind. I'm not going to be near a city. I could put up a wind tower. But
What about the birds, man?
I mean, it had. I mean, we just designed it with like everything, anything you could think of. Multiple kitchens, a lot of bedrooms. I mean,
Right, it was separated
all that
per
great
family
stuff.
as well, like planning the future. Like when we
Yes.
have a family, I'll have my own completely separate area, connected to your completely separate area, connected to someone else's completely separate area, a community.
Yes. Another scenario of lottery winning, or obviously shit ton of money. Buy a bunch of land, build a bunch of houses, few acres in between each house, but then have a tunnel dug leading to a centralized structure, which could have a greenhouse, a pool, activity area. I mean, every house will have a pool and their own little greenhouse or whatever, but then we'll have like a bigger area, something like that, where we could all get together, throw huge Thanksgivings, and kind of the idea I had to it. But each one of the houses would be given to people I like, and then
Close
people
people.
they like, stuff like that. And then in the tunnels we would have segways, a couple of them, so that if you go to one end, you can ride one back, or vice versa,
Right.
stuff like that. And if someone goes to the other end, there's still one over there. If someone comes in and goes down and goes over, whatever. But it'll all lock from whatever side it's on, so nobody could enter anyone's houses unwanted,
Right.
stuff like that. I mean, I think about this stuff way too much. I mean, I went in depth with coding. Maybe I'll use a hand scanner, like
Bob was
for
I was
those
talking about.
spy planes and stuff. Yeah, or like Woodman's uses.
Well, I'm going to bring it full circle here, and what we talked about in the beginning, the fact that our birthday's coming up. And I'm going to share a memory that me and you have had on our birthday. We went down to the boathouse. We went fishing. Wasn't catching anything. What did we turn on?
Pink Floyd.
And the fish started biting like a motherfucker. I mean, one after the other.
were-
And we're like, there's no way that...
Started jumping.
There's no way this is like coincidence. So we turned it off. Nothing. No bites. No fish.
Mm-hmm.
Turned it back on. And they were biting again. So any fishermen out there, they love Pink Floyd, dude.
Especially on the Black River.
Yes.
And it was crazy. It was like you shut it off, give it about 30 seconds, they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
You turn it back on, give it about 30 seconds, they were back. And it
It's
was you're just watching them. They're jumping, they're splashing, and the hook was in and out.
And
In
that's
and out. Here's the fish.
all about the
In and out, here's the
vibrations.
fish.
It's all about
Mm-hmm.
vibrations. Who knows what it sounded like, through the water, to our ears.
Or to
even.
them,
Yeah, to their ears. It's just crazy. Well, we are wrapping up the episode. Thank you for joining us on this Wild Card Tangent podcast.
Thank you for being here,
Yes, and
listening in, enjoying us.
keep sharing our
Hope we
page.
entertained.
get some more. Let's get to 100. Let's get to 100. If we do 100, we'll do a drunk cast together in one room.
Heck yeah.
Once we get 100 likes.
Yes. No more of this lag. We're working on it. We didn't realize the scenario of the lag. I mean, nobody's complained about it, but it annoys the hell out of us.
Yeah, because I
we
say
know
something
it
and
could
he
be
doesn't get it
better,
until like 3
and-
seconds later, and we talk over each other like we are right now. Sorry, dude.
And it
I had to
changes.
do that.
Yeah. I know. I don't care. It's perfect explanation. But and it changes. Sometimes it's a second. Sometimes it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It sucks. We don't like it. I hate it.
But we are
so
combating it. We're trying to figure it out. We will fix it. We will get there.
Yes.
We bought a cord. It didn't necessarily work the way we wanted it to, so we have other options. But I just want to say have a good night, everybody, and I hope you guys join us on the next podcast where we talk about the I Ching, crystals, and some other such.
Chakras.
And chakras.
Possibly chakras. Possibly
Thank
candy.
you for listening to the Tangent Podcast, brought to you by the Realm of Infinite Frequencies. Like us on Facebook.com/The Riff Podcast. We're now streaming on Apple, Google, Spotify, and CastBox. And if you'd like to donate because you like what you hear, Patreon.com/The Riff Podcast. This has been Jester D. Wild One. And for my co-host, Lord B, Thanks for listening, and see you on the next realm.